Ladies and gentlemen, both received your instructions in the dressing room. I want you to obey the commands, protect yourselves at all times. Right now, over here, we're going to call everything under the letters. Over here, we're going to call everything under the letters, okay? Tap it up, let's go.
All right, so we're set to go. Black and gold is Terence Crawford in the gold trunks with the kind of black and red, the colors of the flag. Actually, it's blue and red. The colors of the flag of the Dominican Republic. So the guy with all the gold in the front is Diaz. He has his name on the front, and Crawford has his name on the front of his trunks. Let's see which way Crawford goes. He starts out southpaw.
I called that, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Crawford goes right to work on Diaz. Diaz kind of squared up a bit, although he is a southpaw. Crawford in the early going, they say he starts slow, but he's starting slow definitively. He tries things. He'll paw with his right hand. He'll test with his left. He'll try a couple of hooks downstairs. He wants to see what he can do. Sometimes he'll switch back to right hand to see what he can do right hand. He is right now. I'd said he loves to fish, but he's on a little bit of a fishing expedition because he knows now that he can land the left hook to the body. In his case, it's a left cross when he's in the southpaw stance. He knows he can land that. And that's a good thing for him and a bad thing for Diaz because Crawford can hit you with power, and that's right in the area of the liver. So he's tested that. These are the little subtle things that he does in the early going. So it's not that he doesn't want to come out and start flailing punches and starting the fight fast. He wants to test. This guy is a consummate professional. He's very, very accurate with his punches. Ray Beltran had just disposed of his opponent, said this is the very best fighter technically that he's ever fought, and he is.
And he said, I would just miss him by inches, but that's how technically sound Crawford is. He knows exactly where he wants his head and his feet to be at every moment when he's in there in the ring.
Crawford will fight anybody, anytime. He'd like to fight Keith Thurman, but Keith is going to be on the shelf for at least 6 months. He had a elbow operation a couple of days ago. Of course, Manny Pacquiao was in the books for a big, big fight for Crawford, but Pacquiao's got to get by Jeff Horn. Everybody expects that to be a walkover. Horn can crack, I'm telling you, when they fight in Brisbane on July 2nd. Crawford just doing the job with the jab right now. He's just testing that. Tested the left hand. You want to see if he can land that body shot again with the left hand. Diaz so far can't get to him. Remember, Crawford has a considerable reach advantage.
Watch your head.
Maybe over 6 inches.
And Diaz, for over a year, wanted this fight. Calling him out on social media, trying to get Ludabella to make the fight with Top Rank. You know, and Crawford said, you know what, it's nothing personal. It's because I have the belt. So why wouldn't every guy want to come and fight me and get that opportunity? He never took it as anything personal, and there hasn't been much trash talk. But, you know, Crawford said he's gonna know what he came for here shortly Saturday night. So
Lou, a very experienced guy too, knows when he was ready, and this is about the best time for him. And there are a lot of people from the Dominican Republic that are cheering for Diaz. The other champion is Julius Indongo, who's here, who holds the WBA and IBF titles, and he wants to see if he can get in there with Terence Bud Crawford and make some money. So Crawford stays southpaw. He hasn't gone right-handed at all against the southpaw fighter, Felix Diaz. Diaz catches Crawford with a shot that just ignites him. That's his slip. He sort of pushed him down, and referee Steve Willis is right on top of it. Willis is a very, very good referee here in New York as well. But Crawford continues to paw, continues to see what he can do, try to get the guy off balance. You got him up against the ropes. That isn't where he wants him. He wants to pull him off, so he takes a step back. Diaz isn't biting, though. He'll dictate now. He's in the center of the ring.
And I'm sure Joel Diaz told him in that corner to pick up the pace a little bit, because he started off this round a lot quicker than he did the first. It did Felix Diaz.
Diaz has picked up the pace a little bit, but look how strong Crawford is. He almost throws him off, and there's nothing between them in weight. Crawford's a taller, wiry sort of guy and has so many skills. Chops him with the left hand that time. To get in the southpaw stance, that's his power shot.
Well, and speaking of weight, for Diaz, this is his first fight down at 140 since 2014. He's been fighting up at welterweight 147. So just because Crawford's taller, I mean, Felix Diaz is used to feeling punches of guys that are at the welterweight division and even up at 150 once before in his career.
And he probably is at about 150 right now. Fighting, I'm not sure what Crawford is. I haven't heard what he weighed in today, but I'm sure that Diaz is heavier. He is a stocky sort of guy. Very, very good fighter, very technical himself, but Crawford is just in an elite class by himself. It's going to be tough for Diaz. Crawford continues to pepper him with that jab. And Crawford can throw his jab when he's messing around looking to throw the left hand. He'll throw it off his front foot, and when he wants to sting him with his jab, he'll drive off his back foot. So, you know, and some guys you can criticize if they're jabbing off their front foot, but Terence Crawford does it with a thought to it. See, he set up that left hand. That's what he wanted to do. Get the left hand power shot. Didn't quite connect and just missed that one.
Hold the button.
Bud Crawford in general is a very, very accurate puncher. So when he lets the big power shot go, it's not any spur of the moment thing. It's something that he's setting up. He got clipped by a right hand that time and takes a step back and knows how to tie up Felix Diaz. Closing seconds of the round, so Diaz landed one shot, but that's going to be not quite enough to give him the round. Here's Bud Crawford right back with two solid punches at the bell. So here we go, round number 3, scheduled for 12, the WBO and WBC World Super Lightweight titles at 140 pounds on the line. And again, we've mentioned that Crawford would like to fight in Nungo for the WBA and IBF. Felt that that can't be put together by Bob Arum and company. And then he'll move up to 147, and there's a lot of pickings at 147. Including Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Hall. Hard left hand scored there. Making Diaz miss with the movement, and that's what Ray Beltran was saying. You throw a punch and you think you're right on target, and he just makes you miss by an inch. He did crease him one time in the last round. Steve Willis was willing to let him go in the corner, but then once they started pushing on each other with the gloves, the heel and the hand, he separated them immediately. Willis, as I mentioned, very, very good rep. Kid from Omaha. Terence Crawford. He sells out the place in Omaha. And he's got a whale of a crowd here at Madison Square Garden. They didn't know. Oh, straight right hand, right on the nose of Diaz. How Diaz is able to gobble that up is by one thing only. That's conditioning.
Yeah, he took that square on the chin.
Yeah, he did. He got clipped with another right hand there. See, the fact that he's fought this entire fight southpaw is one thing, but he can turn around and fight right-handed, so he's got a lot of power in both hands. As Crawford has that left hand, that's his power shot from the southpaw stance. Crawford is filled with confidence right now. I think he knows it. And again, he's a very accurate puncher, but he's tested him enough now.
Let go, bud. Let go, bud. Work your way out. Work your way out.
They're going to hand free. Steve Willis will let them work their way out. In fact, you may have been able to hear him say, work your way out. So he doesn't have to interfere or get in too close.
Watch your way out. Watch your way out. Watch your way out. Come on, man. Okay.
Crawford draws him back towards the center of the ring. Pops the jab in his face. That's the right jab because he's fighting as a southpaw. Diaz is a natural southpaw. Crawford, you might just well say, is a natural southpaw as well because he's so ambidextrous, it doesn't make any difference. Turn right-handed for like one uppercut and then he's back southpaw again. Now he's sitting down in his punches. Crawford just slowly breaks his opponents down. And that's what I sense that he's doing with Diaz right now. I mean, look at the jab, the accuracy of the jab. Every once in a while, Diaz will get something through. but he's got that height and that tremendous reach advantage that Crawford has, and Crawford knows how to use it. Crawford doesn't get squared up.
A little bit of a
Yeah, a little bit of a headbutt. You know, that's just frustration.
You hold him like that, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? When you hold him like that, it's going to happen like that. All right? Look.
You heard what Steve Willis had to say. If you're going to hold him like that, that's going to happen. He didn't admonish Diaz with a little bit of a roughhouse tactic. But fighters will try to get away with anything they can. That's the nature of the sport. This is a rough racket. Yet no more pure form of sport because it's only one guy against one guy. And all the hype is said and done when they get into the ring. Man against man. Great sport that it is for over a century. See that again, Diaz loaded up the shot. He took his opportunity, set it up, and he loaded it up, and he couldn't touch Crawford with it.
He's just a little wild with it. He's thrown it back in just a little bit. You know,
Crawford
it's still
makes
so hard.
That way, Christina. That's
so hard for these guys.
That's the thing, yeah. He makes you do things like that.
He's like smothering his punches, trying to get inside, using the head to lead.
Diaz is doing everything he possibly can to make a fight of this, and Crawford just seems to have an answer for anything that he does. It's dangerous when they come together, the two southpaws, because they, you know, when you get the taller guy and the shorter guy, there could be a headbutt. Diaz gets cracked with an uppercut that time. Crawford is wide-eyed right now. Loads up the left hand. He makes Diaz miss with his. You know, that's about maybe the sixth shot that Diaz has really loaded up on that have just grazed, but all missed by Crawford. He got a decent uppercut in there against Crawford. Again, just missed that. Just an inch away from his nose. And that, you got to believe, it's the defensive butt. Otherwise, some of these punches would be landing. And then again, I go back to what Beltran told us yesterday. This guy, you know, it's so frustrating because you just miss. He walked into a left hand that time. There's the left again. The accuracy, uppercut. Look at this combination of punches. Just to put an exclamation point on the round. Bud Crawford turns it up a notch when he hears the 10-second. Those jabs, every one of them. There was 4 of them, and they all landed. Diaz feints and jab, misses, and misses left hand. That reach advantage is really significant for Crawford. Put out the left hand and clipped him hard with the right. I mean, that jab was a punch. It was half hook and half jab, but I mean the jab in the face, then he rolls the shoulders, comes with an uppercut. Look at the amount of jabs that he's landed in this round. And the uppercut, the second uppercut that he's hit him with in this round in hard.
And hasn't even really started to go to the body at all yet on Diaz. Everything being done up to the head.
Just a couple of shots to the body, and that's it.
But the uppercut has been finding a home.
Yeah, he can land that uppercut anytime. And those are the things that he tests. The right hand, he'll jab, he'll hook with it, then he'll come with an uppercut. Now he's tying up, but always dictating what goes on. He's back in the center of the ring. He draws Felix Diaz out. Diaz tries to get that circulation in his legs because he's been doing a lot of chasing. And then when Crawford decides, he'll just hot shot you like that. You know, how accurate he is with his punches. Diaz really needs to move his head more coming in because the combination of not moving your head and the accuracy of Crawford is lethal. Crawford getting this exposure on HBO in the United States again is very important because people very, very soon are going to realize what a terrific fighter this guy is. Maybe he does need a Pacquiao fight to be as definitive fight, depending on what Pacquiao does with Horn in July.
And I think more people are obviously taking notice of him. He's moved up in the ranks, top 10. Some people even have him top 5. I just think that he's, you know, people say, who has he really fought? And he fought Postol to unify the belt, and people said, oh, maybe Postol was overrated, instead of giving Crawford, you know, the kudos that he deserved for just making him look basic. And they say, oh, you know, Gamboa was smaller, Ray Beltran's a journey. You know, everyone had something to say afterwards, so maybe he needs a bigger name so that people can give him the credit that I feel that he's due, because he's got the goods.
Guys that really know boxing know how good he is. Guys like Dan Raphael, Kevin Iole, people of that nature. They know what a wonderful athlete we're watching and what a terrific boxer. The first couple of fights we did, he was supposed to be a right-handed fighter, and every time he switched to southpaw, he'd do better. He can fight right-handed, but he's been fighting southpaw most of the length of all his fights. He protects himself. Smart guy, protect yourself at all times. Don't turn your back on a guy and give him any chance. Because even if he was given time to recover after getting hit behind the head, you never know what kind of damage it can do. Crawford's so quick with those hands, pinpoint accuracy. There's that uppercut again. Backs out of there. Look at him, just pot shot him now. Crawford with Omaha on the back of his trunks. Dominican fighter having all kinds of problems trying to reach Bud Crawford. Crawford shows his strength against a guy that's probably heavier than he is right now. Just shrugs him off. Then he stops and waits. Now he's trying to draw him off. You say, come on to me. He's a ring general. There he is, speed bagging him. Just touching him up. How frustrating is that for a fighter that's as good as Felix Diaz? He put his hands down, trying to mess with Crawford. You want to mess with the master. Keep your hands up, son. Crawford's playing with you. You don't want to play his game and play back with him. But Bud roll his shoulders back and forth, giving it a different look, a different angle. I can see the frustration setting in with Diaz right now. I can feel it.
Yeah, and you can see it just on his body and on his face.
I mean, he wanted to mess around with Crawford, Christina, because Crawford was messing with him, which would be the natural thing to do in the schoolyard. But this isn't the schoolyard. This is Madison Square. Look at that spin move. Wow. Crawford totally confident now that he can handle this guy. And you get the idea when he wants to take him out, he can do it. That's about what, the 5th solid uppercut? That one wasn't the best of the lot, but he's catching him with that uppercut almost at will. I think he's missed either 1 or 2, but landed 5 very hard. Crawford that time gives him the old football move by just pushing him off. And with under 10 seconds to go now, the 6th round is almost history. There's that uppercut again. And he has found a hole for that. Then he doubles with the jab. Well, does he have a plan B? And if he does, it's got to be to just throw your ears back and go after him. Just throw wild shots, do whatever you can do. Because he's not going to outbox Bud Crawford. He can try to outmuscle him. He can try to throw him down. He can try to annoy him, and that's about the best he can do. But he's not going to outbox this guy. That's clear. And Diaz is frustrated because everything he tries to do, he's eating leather. Crawford not only showing his hand speed, but his accuracy. This is a nice, solid combination again. Left hand, right hand.
It's like the only time Diaz is getting inside is when he's going to grab to hold, and then he's trying to slip some punches in there.
But it's so frustrating for Diaz because he's had a whale of a career. You could say that his record is 20-0.
Sure.
Oh, wow. Look at that hand speed again of Bud Crawford. And for Diaz, it kind of ignited him. He's letting it go, but as he does, he exposed himself, and Crawford knows how to tie him up on the inside. How frustrating is this for Diaz? Diaz gets an adrenaline flow after Crawford hit him and showed how game he is, and Crawford just wouldn't give in to him at all.
Well, these are other shots that other fighters have gone down.
Oh, yeah.
To Diaz's credit, he's taken every one of them on the chin and continued to move forward.
One of these uppercuts is going to drop him, though. You just can't take that many and have him not, I don't care what kind of condition you're in, continue to take power shots like this and stay on your feet. His legs are very tired right now.
Maybe Crawford goes to the body a little bit more and then can land one that will finish him.
Bud right now looks like he's happy, Christina, and just blasted the head.
As he should be. It's effective.
The uppercut, the right hand again on the far side. Look at the accuracy, folks. Bad spot for Diaz here as he tries to fight out of the corner. Crawford's dictating this as he whacks him with an uppercut on the inside. Then he gets his arms to the outside. Now he says, come on, come in. Crawford says, no, I'm running this show. How about the pace? Now Bud sticks out his tongue. He doesn't need to do that.
We can't see what Diaz did to him first, perhaps a little bit of the same, but either way, Diaz is really not in the position to be playing games right now, as he is being played with.
Yes, he is. Every once in a while, he does something well, does Diaz, and a big shot right at the bell. All right, we move to the 8th round, and the great news that the kid is all right. That's most important. This is round 8. How much more time before Crawford tries to put the lights out of this guy? It's almost like a sparring session for him. He's all serious, and he's landed some really heavy blows. And again, that goes to the conditioning of Felix Diaz.
And Diaz isn't throwing any punches, not one yet this round, and that's why the crowd's getting a little bit frustrated, and Crawford is kind of waiting there.
Well, Crawford dictates. Then the kid attacks and Crawford pushes him off. He misses both punches, and look at that. 3-punch combination, and he lands everything. Last one taken on the gloves, but the face and the eyes of Felix Diaz really puffed up now. Nobody's been down. Diaz has been a little shaken at one time, but other than that, there's a digging body shot downstairs. Diaz with the overhand rights and lefts. Just can't catch Crawford. I use the word frustrating, and I just can't think of a better adjective, because I know if this was happening to me in there, I'd be so frustrated as a fighter. But luckily for me, Christina, all the fights I had were in hockey, so they only lasted about a minute. I don't think I can go 3 minutes all out like these guys. And then multiply that times the rounds. Steve Willis says, keep the hands up, guys. It's going good so far. Bud Crawford looks like he wants to pick up the pace a little bit right now at this stage of this round with less than a minute to go. Now look at the face of Diaz. You can't set up in front of Bud Crawford and just stand there. He's going to get you. You got to move, and he's set up right in front of him. And he's coming straight forward. He's not using any angles. What does Crawford do? He sets the angle and whacks it. Slides around to the right, then he'll stop, throw out the right hand. Uppercut with the left hand. Continues to slide to his right now. Diaz tries to chase him instead of cutting him off. That doesn't work. This is just a clinic in boxing for Bud Crawford. And he's really handling this guy. And again, it's not that Diaz is a bad fighter. As the bell ending the 8th round, another Crawford round. So here we go. This is round number 9. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. Joining me throughout the telecast, and Christina Poncha, who spends so much time in the camps with these fighters and knows them inside and out. And her special brand of color describing what goes on in the camps with the fighters and their attitudes and their families is terrific. Oh, solid shot that time. His legs are out, really not good right now, and the round has just begun. Can Diaz get his legs back? He's in great shape, but his legs are still not right, and I think Crawford knows it. Trying to get the blood going through those knees and upper thighs, but this is bad for Diaz. And just sitting the ropes with this guy, but his legs still aren't there. Crawford really cracked him in the opening seconds of this round, and he's trying to line him up with something really powerful now. Dead, back to the jab, back to the jab. There's the heavy left hand. Crawford's got him where he wants him in the corner. Let's see if the uppercut is there. Right now, Bud is looking for something that he can land very, very heavy. He's not letting him off the hook. He wants to land something really heavy now. There's the pawing, lands the left hand. And remember, that's the power shot. An uppercut and a half uppercut. Neither one of them landed. Another thing with Crawford, he gets the guy in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't panic. He wants to get and land the clean shot. Bops him 4 or 5 times in the forehead to get his attention. He's looking to land a big power shot, either an uppercut or that straight left hand. There's the uppercut. It's all Crawford now. Not that it hasn't been throughout the course of the fight, but right now, very heavy, heavy punches being landed by Crawford. Diaz backed into the corner. We're telling Crawford, keep the punches up. He's used his reach, he used his height to his advantage. Diaz has done everything he can do in terms of getting himself ready for this fight. Big Crawford just toying with it.
And no combinations for Diaz, just kind of throwing these wild punches, pot shotting, just trying to land one punch that he feels could change the fight.
Everything to the head. You know, Christina, a couple rounds ago, you had a good idea. Should go to the body. Well, there was a body shot right there. Oh, look at this. This is tough stuff. Man. Crawford with a straight left hand. Closing seconds down. Diaz has a tendency to try to finish strong. Goes upstairs, catches Crawford with a slight right hand, but look at the bell. 3 more punches landed by Crawford. Muy abajo, muy rápido.
He's telling him something.
Time.
Are they gonna stop the fight? Is he saying no mas?
Let's see. I don't know.
Or they're looking at the eye.
Oh, the doctor's in there having a look at the eye. Hey, the doctors may stop the fight.
But Felix did whisper something in Joel's eye.
Felix, dame este round.
All right.
He says okay. Well, that proves he didn't want to quit. But you're right, Christina. The right eye is almost totally closed. So watch Crawford try to take advantage of that. Diaz tries to get away from Crawford, cuts the ring off perfectly. Leaning in, throwing power shots now. Almost everything that Crawford's throwing now is a big power shot. Really hard punches. Even his jabs are off the back foot with great power. No offense from Diaz whatsoever in this round. Crawford just looking, you can see in his eyes, he's looking for the opportunity. Hangs his left hand down low. When he does that, he often comes with that left hand uppercut, trying to distract the fighter. Uppercut is there.
Just stalking him now.
I mean, for the past 4 or 5 rounds, this has just been, you know, a boxing lesson for Crawford against Diaz. And again, folks, I want to point out that Diaz was the best available. He is not a bad fighter, but Crawford is making him look like he's not in the fight with Crawford. Crawford is that good, and sooner or later, people are going to realize it.
And he needs to get credit for making guys look average, because Diaz is a good fighter. He is a good fighter. He earned this opportunity, and he's not going to get that credit.
Look at that. Now, Steve Willis is don't have to play with him that much. That was a hard left hand. If he was playing with those little taps in the head, he wasn't playing with that left hand. Willis wants to keep it on a professional level. Crawford at one time stuck his tongue out. We don't know what Diaz said to him before that. But Bug doesn't have to do that. He's a sensational fighter. If anybody enjoys himself in the ring, when you're winning like this, it's Bud Crawford.
Who doesn't enjoy winning? He wants to win at everything he does. The most competitive person that I know.
Well, you said yesterday something that if you're running up the stairs, he wants to beat you. It doesn't make any difference what the contest is.
We had a great clip from Bomac in Camp Life where all he talked about is like, he wants to beat me at everything. He wants to beat me at eating. He wants to beat me to the car. He wants to beat me at every single thing that he does. So, I mean, but that's that championship mentality.
Diaz is taking some hard blows right now. If he doesn't, and the problem is the referee can't stop the fight because every time that you think Diaz is done, he comes back into the fight.
It's over.
The fight is all over. And a good stoppage by the corner. He had taken enough punishment, and he wasn't going to win this fight. As you take a look at this, there's no sense for this fight to continue any further because in that round alone, he took, I don't know, 15 hard punches to the head. Guy has a beating like this, sometimes they never fight well again.
And here at Madison Square Garden, the challenger's corner indicates they can no longer continue. Referee Steve Willis calls a halt to the bout. Officially at the end of round 10, the winner by TKO victory and still unified WBO, WBC super lightweight champion of the world, the fighting pride of Omaha, Nebraska, USA, Terence Crawford.